Believe that people should have 3 meals a day. When I've been Prime Minister on early occasions, I ensured that. And I will ensure that they will have 3 meals a day again. It's a challenge, but I am going to meet that challenge and overcome it.
What was once named as the agitation site of Colombo has now been renamed as Gota Gogama, which loosely translates to Gota Go Village, by the youth of Sri Lanka, as Sri Lanka now continues days on end of protests against the Rajapaksa-led government near the premises of the Presidential Secretariat here in Colombo. The youth of Sri Lanka are frustrated, and to put it quite simply, they've had enough with this government after mismanaging the Sri Lankan economy to its worst possible financial and economic crisis since independence. The youth of Sri Lanka have been camping out in this vicinity for days, braving the weather and the harshest of rains to make sure that their voice and demands are heard, where they want the leaders and this government, led by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, to simply step down and to hand over power to a more competent authority as the
Lanka's Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe will take charge as the Finance Minister, the President's office has announced. It will take lead talks with the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, as the crisis-hit nation seeks a bailout. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe was sworn in as Finance, Economic Stabilisation and National Policies Minister before President Rajapaksa. Ali Sabri, the previous finance minister who started talks with the IMF in April, quit in early May when the cabinet was dissolved after Prime Minister Rajapaksa resigned. The finance minister's appointment is extremely crucial because he needs to get the ball rolling on a new budget, talks with the IMF and spearhead fiscal support, said Lakshmi Fernando, macroeconomist for Sri Lanka-based investment from Asia Securities. Wickremesinghe lays his immediate plans. In an interview with Reuters on Tuesday, Wickremesinghe laid out his immediate plans for the economy, including presenting an interim budget within 6 weeks that will slash government expenditure to the bone and reroute funds into 2 years relief program.
And is there any other message you have for the world? You've just taken on a very challenging job. What would your message be to people watching this around the world as well?
We are getting back on our feet. We need your assistance for a year. Whatever we get from you, we'll repay. Certainly. And help us to do it. We are the longest and the oldest democracy in Asia.
On Tuesday, the World Bank said it is not planning to provide any new financing to Sri Lanka until an adequate economic policy framework has been implemented. Wickremesinghe told Reuters he hoped for a sustainable loan package from the IMF while undertaking structural reforms to draw new investments into the country. Sri Lanka PM trying to fast-track IMF talks. The PM is seeking $4 billion from the IMF, China and Japan to pay for food and fuel, even as he slashes the budget to bare bones. Sri Lanka is looking to fast-track talks with the International Monetary Fund and agree on a loan by mid-June to approach other leaders for urgently needed funds. The bankrupt nation will slash its budget expenditure to bare bones and hopes to break even or post a primary surplus of 1% of gross domestic product by 2025, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said in an interview at his office in Colombo Wednesday. Even so, that would be smaller than 2% surplus the IMF has sought, which could be a sticking point, as reported by Bloomberg on 26 May. Earlier this week, IMF Manager Director Kristalina Georgieva said the lender was working relentlessly at a technical level in Sri Lanka. A veteran politician who knows the IMF, Wickremesinghe, 73, is a veteran politician who has been Prime Minister for 5 times before the current appointment. The economic liberal already has experience with the IMF. Sri Lanka's last had an IMF program in 2016 during one of Wickremesinghe's tenure as Prime Minister. He has also built relationship with regional powers, India and China, the key investors and lenders who were for influence in Sri Lanka along busy shipping routes linking Asia to Europe.
At the moment, in terms of getting that international help?
Yes, India has been helping us, but we'll talk to the others, to Japan, to South Korea.
Sri Lanka's central bank governor says he will stay in his position given improved political stability amid an economic crisis. He would not step down as he had earlier warned. Sri Lanka is expecting 3 to 4 billion from the IMF. The technical discussions with the IMF on a bailout loan are scheduled to include today. Its spokesman Jerry Rice Sunday said, "We remain committed to helping Sri Lanka align with the IMF policies. However, finalizing the loan agreement will take another 3 months." IMF Managing Director Kristalina Georgieva, speaking to the BBC yesterday, declared governments need to subsidize the cost of food and energy for the poorest members of the society, and without the correct support, the protests seen in Sri Lanka could be repeated in other countries. However, the IMF prescription for the bailout loan will deepen the attacks on working people's social rights and living standards, pushing many more into poverty, power and energy, Minister said. On Thursday, Governor P. Nandalal Veerasinghe also said that the Central Bank of Sri Lanka had nearly finalized plans to restructure the country's debt, and proposals would be submitted to the cabinet soon, possibly Friday. Kanchana Wijesekara said in a message on Tuesday that petrol prices would increase by 20-24%, while diesel prices would rise by 35-38% with immediate effect. That is the latest news of the happenings in Sri Lanka. Let us meet again. Till then, stay safe and goodbye for now.